Okay, so this is the long and the short of weeding in my garden. That little guy hiding up there, pretending to be a basil. Get out of there. That's gone. Little piece of oregano. Yep, that's weeding in a garden like this. So, what makes this garden not have weeds? Well, in order to have a garden like this no-till garden to not have weeds, one of the first things you have to do, as you can see the grass over there outside the garden versus the mulched pathways. So the first thing you got to do is separate the garden space from your lawn space. And the best way to do that, although not the easiest way, is to dig a trench and put some sort of physical barrier in here that separates, and about 4 to 6 inches down, and it separates your grass from your garden. So what that's going to do is the grass isn't going to feed a root system that's over here under the garden, where if it ever gets exposed to light, those roots are going to send up new shoots, and when they do that, you've got a weed problem, a perennial weed, that's not only has access to all the nutrition of the garden that your annual plants do, but it's going to be fed from a massive mother plant out here. So the first thing you want to do is separate your lawn from your garden. So the second part of this is you need to suppress and kill off the weed pressures that you have in the garden. And so what you want to do is you want to do the cover and smother. They're actually kind of two separate things that work as one to do the job of getting rid of all your weeds. So the first thing you want to do is throw down a good layer of cardboard or paper or something that's a large sheet that will cover over the organic matter that's here, the weeds, and it will kill off the weeds on the surface layer. And as the roots try to reestablish and grow new shoots, it's going to encounter that smother layer, and it's going to kill off that new growth as well, because it's not going to have access to light. And as long as it doesn't have access to light, it can't photosynthesize and replenish the root system. And it's not going to get any help from outside. So the second thing you want to do is then you want to add some sort of mulch. So I got wood chip in the pathways. I usually have compost and leaves in the beds. And that mostly suppresses all the weed pressure, keeps that smothering layer moist and damp and soggy, and allows it to do a job much more effectively than just the cardboard or the paper would alone. So now that we've taken care of all the weed pressures from underneath, the only thing you have to deal with now is the weed seeds that come down. So again, there's a big culprit right there, is the big pile of oregano. Oregano has these little tiny seeds that blow everywhere, so I've got oregano popping up everywhere. But little seedlings and grass seedlings do not have an established root system, so it's very easy to go through and pluck out all the little bitty weeds that come in when they do happen to germinate. So it's rare, but it's very easy to do weeding. So it's not actually zero weeding, but I mean, it's just so easy. Oh, there's another one right there. One more grass. Gone. And one more grass. Gone. That's easy enough. And a whole bed like this, if I wanted to let it go for a couple of weeks, I could probably take 10 minutes and weed the whole thing. And it's just so easy to pull them out. So that is weeding and weed suppression in a no-till garden. And that's why a lot of no-till gardeners just love this system. It's so easy to manage and maintain. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for this video. And we've got chickens.